say that it's going into Suzuki. I'm just going to take it for a quick jet wash. I've cleaned the inside very briefly, just so it's not a sty when it goes in there. Not that it ever is a terrible sty, but I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm just going to drop it off with them. I don't want them to like start tearing it apart or anything like that. I don't want to get billed thousands and thousands. So just a quick initial diagnostic for them to tell me what's wrong with it. Honestly, I'm hoping that I go in there and they tell me, no, drive it a bit more, drive it a bit harder and just clear it out, it's carbon deposits. I'm going to get myself down to the jet wash and see where we go from there. Good God. And there she is, 2 minutes of the jet wash, and it's got all the surface leaves and other muck that was stuck to it. Let's go and fight our way through the Bolton rush hour traffic at 8:30 in the morning, see how long it takes us to get there. I knew I'd find some here, ladies and gents. There's some new Swifties. I'm gonna have to go and have a look at them in a minute, but I've got to drop this off first. They look a little bit better in person than they do on pictures. Worryingly enough, as I've just pulled onto the curb, it's just got like twice as loud. It actually sounds like tapping now. That's terrifying. It knows it's here. I told you, it listens to me, this car. I'm really hoping the guys come out and have a look at it so they actually know what I mean, because I'm gonna sound absolutely ridiculous otherwise, because they'll just think, oh no, it's normal for an engine, that. But we'll see what they say anyway. See what they've got in here too. 24 plate black Swifty, but it's not a new one, it's still a 33 non-sport. Alright, here we go. Pure MG's here as well. I don't like MG at all. Listen to that. Well, that was over rather quickly, unfortunately. Not great for a result. I'll explain now. So one of the guys from the garage came out to have a look at it, the tapping. He said it's not catastrophic. We were having a good old joke and laugh about it. But he said it's either going to be tappets or the cams. I don't think it's the cams. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, I need to stop being a scaredy cat and tackle this myself. Only reason being is, for a main dealer, this is still cheap because the likes of BM and Audi will charge a lot more. But just to do the diagnosis, this is not taking the rocker off. This is not doing any work. They want 106 quid per hour for that. And I'll be honest, I've not got that money to spend at a dealership for this one. I've got a load of other things to do. So I think it's time I stop being scared and tackle this myself. Because honestly, they said they didn't even know how long it took to do this. That nobody knows. The guy that comes to have a look at it's not been here that long either. So I'll be honest, I'd rather tackle it myself this time. I know I said that's going against everything I've just said, but for the cost of it and the fact that they don't even know how long this is going to take, I don't want to. It's going to actually end up being thousands. I'm going to nurse it home because the tapping is definitely there and noticeable. And go and get some advice off good old Father Wall and see what he's got to say. So me and my dad are going to tackle this now. We've got some penetrant to hopefully get those two loose bolts off. I'm also taking the front bumper off at the same time so I can replace that fog light bulb, put the halos in both sides, the little halos that I've got there, and also put my D-badged and body colour white front grille on as well. Nice and easy this, because there was only two bolts holding it on because the other two were on that little carbon fibre piece down there. Very easy to take off. Whip these out and yeah, we'll take it from here. Took the intake off as well, leaving the map pipe section on because I'm actually ditching that. I can't remember if I've said, I probably either said it never or 15 times, can't quite remember. Then there's these two breathers as well, just one here and the smaller one over here. You don't need to spend ages ragging them off, they just be gentle, should pop right off. Round two, there's one off. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, there she goes.
It might snap.
Did it snap?
I don't know. Yeah, it snaps. Right.
Oh my good God. That is absolutely nasty in there.
Yeah.
Look at that on the camera.
Yeah.
It's full of it.
So this is probably going to snap.
This is going to snap, 100%. Watch all the stuff come out of it. And that snapped.
Okay. Right, so what we have to do now, we want drilling them.
So for reference viewers, this is what the rocker cover bolts should look like, and the two that snapped look like that. He's definitely had some water and grass in them holes at some point in life. Look at the state of that as well. So that one's drilling out. And also, just for reference, taking this little pipe off, you need to get a little trim piece removal tool, push down on this clip here like so, and then just pull out, and it will undo this thread here and here on this one as well. Which is something that you will have to do because they actually did just break. They're only one-time use things, which is slightly annoying, but hey. So now that we've got all that lot disconnected, it's actually time to pull it off now. Make sure you've got a new rocker cover gasket at home before you do this as well, so you're not left high and dry with the old one. It's lifted on this side. Ooh, there we go. This is a first for me, ladies and gents. And there's my timing chain. I'm going to take a minute to take all this in before we have a look, because I've never ever seen the inside of this before, or one of these. I mean, the timing chain's not chewed up to hell, at least. I guess that's one thing. Wow. It doesn't look terrible in there at all, it really doesn't. Right, so after not much time looking at this, I don't think it takes a genius to clock that there's no visible valves there, is there? Because they're in these little cups inside here. So you know what that means. The timing chain's in the way. And as you can see, everything else is also in the way because there's no obvious access routes that we can see here. So yeah, how fantastic is that? So conclusion is, we can see a tiny little bit of colour change on these little cam lobes here. And that's where we suspected the sound to be coming from in the first place. So we've deemed it with the little access, well, little to basically no access that we've got. Like you can see, there's nothing we can do here without whipping all this stuff off and getting underneath it and in here and seeing it. So essentially, it's just wear and tear. We're going to get it back together and just see how she runs and nurse it for a bit. That's all we can really do. So now that we've decided what's going on with this, and there's not really anything we can do apart from nursing it and making sure it's all right, etc, etc. I don't think it's catastrophic. I think it'll probably be okay. Now that I've seen under there, and now that I've been, and the guy at Suzuki said that he wasn't really concerned by it either. He didn't feel concerned by it, if you like. The next big thing is to get these buggers out, because I knew these were going to snap when they were too tight the other day, and yeah, at least I didn't have to deal with that on a Sunday afternoon. So what I need to do now is go and get some liquid gasket, some HSS drill bits for the aluminium bolts that have snapped in the aluminium case, and I swear I needed something else. Damn, what do I need? Right, so the plan of action is, where these two have snapped, we're not going to drill them out because we've not got what we need today, so we're going to do some liquid gasket from here all the way down and through these little ridges here, just so this corner is absolutely protected until we actually get to these. I'm only doing this so I need the car again, so we've got to get it running. It's been quite a while now that this has been going on, so at least she'll be back on the road. Now we'll get the remaining 5 back in there. So that's it, all back together. That should set overnight. We're going to try it again in 24 hours, but that'll be in a different video. I'm going to make another video. If anything more comes of this, I'll let you know. But now I'm going to do a conclusion of the whole experience and a quick rundown, because I've probably been rambling on countless times throughout this video. So I'll do a conclusion of rundown of what Suzuki said, what it lines up with what we found under here, because I found out all the answers that I needed by working on this and taking it off myself. So I'll explain what's going on. So to round it off, Suzuki essentially said when the mechanic came to look at it that it was definitely cam or valve related in the top end. We knew this anyway, so I found that the cams were completely okay, minus some normal wear and tear, which is again to be expected. It's done 94,000 miles, so it definitely leaves it with the valves there. So now I knew that it was valves. Regardless of whether it was cams or valves, it was going to be very expensive labour that they were wanting to charge to even find out what was wrong with it. And dare I say it, I think I probably did it quicker this time round with my dad than Suzuki would have found it, because they were explaining to me that it was going to take ages and they had no idea what was going on. Which also leads me to believe they weren't very keen on doing the job, and I found this to be true due to the nature of it, with the timing chain being in the way, and it basically deems it to be a full engine out and half rebuild job at that point. And apart from the mechanic coming out to having a look at the car, there was no definite fix or answer without deep further inspection from them, and again that incurs a load of costs. So my inspection then confirmed there was zero visible signs of obvious bad wear and tear or damage. There's nothing there. It looks absolutely normal in every single possible given way, and then therefore I deem it to be good enough to drive. It's safe enough to drive. It's not going to chew itself to bits. I needed that peace of mind to see that for myself, to see that with my own eyes, so I know that it's probably going to be okay now. I'd say that it's going to be fine. Worst comes to worst, I have to go up a bit thicker oil, but again, most people do have to do that. But again, I'm going to make another video on this once it's back up and running to see how she runs, just to update you all. But that's it for now. Thank God, it should be okay. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments. If you've got similar problems, I'll be responding to every single comment. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.